What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy. Something. Hit the keys, and it looks like we have breaking news. That's right. While I was out frivolously buying an iPhone 17, I came back home to get the breaking news of all the breaking news. It looks like Native Instruments might go bankrupt. They're currently in a preliminary insolvency. So let's go ahead. I've got a story that I kind of want to break down. We'll read the article. We'll kind of talk about it, give our thoughts and everything like that. But let's go ahead, hop into Gear News and check out this article. So it says Native Instruments once again in preliminary insolvency. What happens next? So clearly, this isn't the first time that Native Instruments has been in preliminary insolvency, but it is a big deal. For those of you who don't know what this is, it's like the step before bankruptcy. So preliminary insolvency refers to an early court supervised stage where a financially distressed company or individual seeks to restructure debt and avoid formal liquidation, often involving appointing an administrator to assess viability and negotiate with creditors for a potential rescue plan. This phase allows for proactive measures like debt proposals or recovery plans before full insolvency proceedings, potentially saving the business by pausing creditor actions and exploring restructuring options like sales or agreements, as seen recently with companies like Native Instruments entering such proceedings. So let's hop back over here. Let's kind of read through this article. We'll kind of react to it together. As we go, I'll kind of give my thoughts and tell you guys what I think about this. Am I super worried about it? I would say no, because Native Instruments has assets to sell. They've gone through this before. So I will say, though, this will hurt if Native Instruments does go bankrupt, because of all the plugins that I use, they're the instruments that I use, like the real sounds. So I know it's going to hurt a lot of people's workflow, but don't worry. Native Instruments isn't the kind of company that would go away. Somebody would buy them. So let's go ahead and read through this. Native Instruments, once again, in preliminary insolvency. What happens next? The news of Native Instruments' preliminary insolvency is causing quite a stir in the music technology scene. According to official documents from Berlin, you can see the article here. I'll leave this link too in case you guys want to see this article. Proceedings are underway against the company. This puts the spotlight on a manufacturer that has been a mainstay in studios, on stages, and in production environments for years. This is a turning point for you because NI has long been part of the standard digital music production repertoire and not just Contact, Tractor, or Machine. So Native Instruments has declared provisionary insolvent. In recent years, the company has undergone several structural changes that have not always been clearly communicated to the outside world. First, the investment firm Francisco Partners came on board. Then Soundwide was formed as a merger of Native Instruments, Isotope, Plugin Alliance, and Brainworks. Later, the company returned to focusing on Native Instruments brands. These changes indicated that the company was undergoing a period of major restructuring. I could kind of see where Native Instruments got into a little bit of this issue, because when we look here, obviously you guys remember Soundwide. When they got Isotope, Plugin Alliance, and Brainworks, I think they thought that this was going to add a lot to their ecosystem as far as sales and being able to make these plugins work together, and it just seems like that never happened. So it seems like since the acquisition of Isotope, just being real, other than the engine in Ozone, the new one, it's fire. It hasn't been like a whole lot of new stuff happening with Isotope. There's been a lot of complaints from the production community about Isotope, and everybody's saying that they're just kind of slapping a new face on the same thing. So that probably hurt. And then Plugin Alliance and Brainworks, just being honest, I don't use any Plugin Alliance plugins. And the only Brainworks plugin that I use is BX Master Desk when I'm doing like videos to show people free mastering plugins. So I think adding those companies probably hurt, but those are assets that they can sell, which is probably what they're gonna do to get out of the situation they're in with this preliminary insolvency. Let's continue to read on though. Preliminary insolvency proceedings are now underway, and according to available information, an insolvency administrator has been appointed. Such proceedings often aim to examine restructuring options or find new solutions for the future. This often involves restructuring potential investors or the sale of individual business units. So again, probably going to have to sell Isotope, Brainworks, and Plugin Alliance, but it's probably going to work its way out at the end. It's not possible to assess whether or to what extent Native Instruments can be stabilized in this way at present, as no details on the company's financial situation are publicly available. Man, I butchered that whole paragraph. Sorry about that, y'all. In retrospect, many observers do not consider this development to be entirely surprising. In recent years, particularly since 2019, the company has faced repeated criticism for its often incomprehensible product strategies and decisions. Massive X failed to meet expectations for a long time. Absinthe 5 was discontinued, and the Sounds.com project was terminated. At the same time, the range of sample libraries grew, and some of the users felt genuine innovations were becoming rare. These factors led to a loss of confidence among some of the community. So I'm on the side of, I feel for a lot of the people who were using Massive X and Absinthe and like stuff like that, synths and stuff. But you can't be mad at a company for making a bunch of sample libraries too, because that's meeting another end of their customer base. So it's like, I'm not really using synths. I might use Massive X every once in a while. It's not bad. I like Massive X more than I like Massive. Absinthe 6 is all right, but I don't really use it. I'm not using Native Instruments for synthesizers. I'm using it for like their sounds. And so they're probably making more money off the sounds than they were for the synthesizers. And that's probably why they focus more on the sounds and the synthesizers. So I understand some people are upset, but they're probably looking at their budget and seeing what makes sense to them. Obviously, we see they're in financial fiasco as we speak. So, however, there has also been recent attempts to reconnect with users. New developments such as the new version of Ab6 Synth and updates to machine and MIDI controllers suggest a change in direction. However, these efforts have not been enough to stabilize the situation. It creates the image of company caught between a strategic realignments and searching for core identity. Right here it says, should Native Instruments undergo major changes, the consequences would extend beyond the company itself. Many production setups and working methods rely on Native Instruments. That's facts. And the effects from this environment. Changes would therefore affect not only the software, but also the people who work with it. What about Isotope and Plugin Alliance? Employees and partners and everybody find themselves in uncertainty, worried about, the job situation. So this is a kind of a big deal, y'all. With Native Instruments, they've been around for a long time. I can't stress it enough. I rock with Native Instruments. I know some people have issues with Contact, and like I said, with like Massive and with Absinthe going away for a while, and the way that Native Instruments kind of is. But for me, I couldn't do without their sound. So I will say this though, I wouldn't be too worried because they're not really going to go anywhere if you want to be realistic about it. I mean, if you look at Native Instruments net worth, we can't get the exact net worth because it's not a public company, but their annual revenue is between 78 to 94 million dollars a year. So somebody is going to buy the company. If they sell the company, somebody's going to buy this up. And just like the same with like Isotope, somebody's going to snatch Isotope up because it's, AI. You guys know how AI technology is going right now. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody like Google or somebody bought, you know what I'm saying, Isotope, seeing how, a company like Google is getting into AI music here pretty soon and all that other stuff. So I did watch Bolo's video. Bolo is who tipped me off to this, and he mentioned he thinks that it would be good if In Music bought Native Instruments, and then they would control Native Instruments and Akai. I'm completely against that. That's when you kind of start setting up a monopoly on you know what I'm saying, groove boxes and stuff like that. If In Music owned Complete Machine and they own the Akai MPC, they basically have a monopoly over groove boxes, and then they could start jacking the prices up even more than they are right now. So although I would like to see whatever company, if a company does buy Native Instruments or if Native Instruments does stick around, I would just like to see them operate maybe just with Akai. They have a good working relationship, like other companies, like, how Sonable and SSL just put out a bunch of plugins together. I would like to see them do a lot of collaborative efforts, maybe even do a collaborative board, but I wouldn't be for watching In Music take in another music company. It's just giving them a monopoly here over time. So that's basically what I got for you guys. I just wanted to kind of talk about this real quick. If you guys didn't hear about it, I wanted to put it on your radar to let you know. Let me know below in the comments what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments what you guys think that Native Instruments could do better in the future, you know what I'm saying, to get themselves out of a situation like this. Make sure if you guys do like this content, though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.